What's up, guys? JJ Fade 23. How's everybody doing? I'm going to make a quick video on Tesla so you're all prepared of how to take a nice bounce long if it sets up. All right? As everybody can see, Tesla's made a big run up. All right, guys, big run up, and then guess what happened? We couldn't hold the breakout level. That's usually disastrous, guys. If you get a fake breakout at the highs like this, that's never good for any stock. I don't love longing stocks after they do a fake breakout. You know, down here on the EMAs, great, flagging, whatever. But once you get the fake breakout, and then it falls back below, that's no good. Pops up, makes a lower high, starts to break down. The weekly EMAs are starting to curl down. The daily EMAs obviously curled down too. But now, where does that leave us, guys? Tesla, look at this drop from one of my setups. The consolidation break, strong move down, flag off the daily EMAs. Great short setup, which I took, but I just didn't hold long enough. Because it's Tesla, I thought, maybe people will come back in and support levels, make a high or low, whatever. Still a great trade. But anyway, that leaves us to where we are now. Guys, look at Tesla. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 red days in a row, coming close to a very, very key level. Multi-touch pivot here in the 270s, 272, 273, 274, all around this area, right? We have 271 to this pivot right here, 273, 274. So, guys, 275 area. Basically, what I like to do is go like something like this, because sometimes they're not exactly perfect. I'm going to pop that off, something like that. Now, guys, normally when stocks have this many days down, oh, by the way, I'm forgetting my one thing that I don't like. Sorry, guys. Yes, the 9 EMA, please. Guys, as you can see, sorry, what am I talking about? I meant to say the 4 EMA. The 4 EMA I use for reversals, guys. Sorry, I'm losing it. As you can see, right? A lot of times, look at this. Riding, then it extends off it. When there's a gap off it, it comes back to it. We talked about this in many videos. Like right here. Red, extends off it, bounces. As of right now, Tesla's been riding down the 4 like crazy. And you could short that using a smaller time frame, like the 10-minute EMAs, which we talk about in the room all the time. I wasn't actually able to nail this that much watching so many other things, but check this out. Tesla has had the 10-minute 50 literally banging off it like it's his job. All right? The 10-minute 50, if you notice, once you find the EMA that's tracking the whole way down, you can pretty much keep short it until it stops working. Look, 10-minute 50, 10-minute 50, 10-minute 50, 10-minute 50, 10-minute 50. That thing's 10-minute 50, right? So as we know, right, if it's rejecting the 10-minute 50, look what happens when it gets extended away from the 10-minute 50 and the 10-minute 4, it bounces, right? It gets extended away. This one didn't really extend away from the 4, though, so not as good. Down here, look, extended from the 4 and the 50, it bounces. So I'm looking now to have so many red days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would love, in a perfect world, we get a nice speed up in price action, a really extension on elevated volume down into these key levels, maybe a little below. I would love to see something like this tomorrow. Maybe a little gap down, and then we would get like a flush, hard flush red candle, right? That ends up making a bottom tail, right? So it ends up looking something like this. Let me take this off here for a sec. I want to see something that ends up looking like this, you guys. We have a red candle, right? Ends up happening is the bottom ends up being a tail, like a nice bottom tail. So how do I gonna get that? I mean, I don't know if it will go that low, but you get the idea. I want the candle to end up being like, something like this. So how does that happen intraday? And how will I enter it if it does happen, right? I want it to be basically a bottom tail candle. And I basically, guys, I won't enter unless it comes flying. What I want, basically on the 10-minute chart, you guys, right? What I want this to do is extend, right? I want this to have a flush down to my levels, a speed up in price down to like, the only problem is we're getting pretty close now to these levels. So whatever, I don't care if it goes a little below. but I want either a speed up of price, so it's not just grinding down like this. I want a parabolic speed up that I can wait for a trend break and then trade the bounce, play back up, right? On the trend break right here. Or we get a big gap down and it just like goes green off the open. Depends where it ends up. So, yes, obviously right now it looks like we're close, but it's still $10, you know, because of the way the chart is right now. Right? If you look right here, right? 341, $15 drop. If we get a $15 drop, 82, it'll go a little below our level, but that's all right as long as we reclaim it. I'll anticipate the reclaim, and I'll anticipate the sixth red day, a seventh red day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the seventh red day not closing at its lows if we can extend away from the 4. Maybe we want to come down and fill this gap. I don't know. I don't care as long as it extends into one of these levels. If it doesn't extend into the level, I'm not going to take it. If it just slowly grinds into it, I'll just let it go because it's probably going to break. I'm going to take whatever level it goes to. If it's this gap fill level, I don't care what level it is as long as it's one of these levels. And I don't need to guess what level it's going to be because I'm going to wait for the extension into that level or gap down into that level. So if we're too close to this level right here, this 270, 275, then maybe we flush through it and go to the gap fill. And I don't care because when it's extended into the level, that's the one I'll be looking for. If we can get that extension into one of those levels, that would be ideal. So that's pretty much all I'm waiting for. It might be right here. Any one of these levels, as long as it extends into it and I can get a trend break or some kind of trigger at that level on the extension. Look how far we are off the weekly 4. That's getting pretty extended, right? Look, extended off the weekly 4, comes back to it. Off the weekly 4, comes back to it. All right? Look, off the weekly 4, comes back to it. 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 So we are very extended off the weekly 4. The only other thing that could happen, guys, if we don't get an extension, the other thing that could happen that I would be possibly watching is to get a fake breakdown. If we come down to this level with like a kind of pussy move, we hit this level and then we reclaim yesterday's low. All right, so that would be something like, all right, we have yesterday's low right here. Let's say tomorrow we come down. Say tomorrow we have a quick little flush into 275 and then it instantly reclaims this level. That'll be a fake breakdown trigger at a key level. So I'll be watching for one of those. I prefer to have the extension, or in an even better world, a more automatic A++ setup. I think we're too close for this to happen. Maybe not for the gap fill, but in a perfect world to have the automatic load the boat full size setup would be a decent gap down, right? And then it flushes at the open, and then instantly pops back up. So that ends up looking like something like this, all right? You have a gap down, and you get a bottom tail candle on like the 10-minute chart. Well, it'll be the daily chart too, but you know what I mean. You get a big gap down, a quick flush back through the open price long, and then go fill that gap, and then you're in the driver's seat to scale out and use a trailing stop or whatever you want to do. That would be like really great. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's pretty much the only ways I'll trade it. Otherwise, if it just keeps slowly grinding down the 10-minute EMAs and making new lows with no extensions or gap, no bottom tail daily on a big parabolic move, then I'll just let it go. I don't care. I'm not going to try to long a slow death grind like this. I don't care how many red days it is. So, anyways, I'm not a financial advisor, you guys. I just like to talk a shop. All right? And if you like my videos, please like and subscribe, please, so I can keep making these videos. It will really help the channel. The algo picks it up, and please. Just kidding. All right. Thanks, guys.